My mind thought of those Georgia guide stones. I saw them as one sees a candle on a cake. The lighting of the candle was the erecting of the guide stones, the blowing out of the candles to celebrate an event, and victory was the demolishing of them.
I saw all these things come together, their vaccines, their wars, this entire operation of subversion, demoralization is from the communists.
The word communist does not do it justice because they used communist revolution to achieve their objectives.
They are beyond the word communists, these are high-level Satanists.
It was the way how I saw all their plans come together, how well orchestrated it was. These new weapons I then thought are, as the seer mentioned, too terrible for words. We are not dealing with the same sort of weapons as before. This is the second time I have seen advanced weapons now. This is actually a quadruple confirmation of the first dream on the channel.
The dream vision confirming the dream vision is a double confirmation, but the fact that my relative confirmed that what I saw in this dream vision within her
dream was true, and that she told my friend about the other dream visions I had and how they played out adds even more impact to the dream.
I cannot explain how I felt.
While sitting outside, another thing came to me. The seer mentioned in his visions and commentary that what was done to the Boer women and children, the same would be done to them, but there is one thing saying something, it is another thing altogether when you witness the sheer horror, the terror of it. I would not wish it on anyone. This dream showed me they planned to exterminate everything, and I saw nothing, not even a shrub left. It also tells me they would have to drop many of these things, which means many jets would fly in dropping them, but it also tells us the power of a single one of those balls. The spring I saw shoot out of the cross-shaped figure that came out of the pallet must have had about 15 or more balls in the spring, and I saw one of those balls is more powerful than the thing detonated in Hiroshima. One of those balls would be like 10 or 20 bombs dropped on Japan, then think each pallet had maybe 15 of them. Then I think about how many must have been dropped, because as far as I could see, as high up as I looked, this mountain of a wave just kept on approaching, consuming everything in its way. The buildings seemed to have melted away. I saw this mountain of fire so clearly, I could see within the mountain of this nuclear explosion the different strokes of color and knew what it meant.
The different shades of the colors were when the nuclear balls were detonated at different times. The darker color fire orange were balls that were the first to be detonated. The brighter colors were the most recent detonations. Like lava, the newer lava from a volcano is bright, and the older it gets, the darker the lava is.
What caused me the most trauma was I saw that no one could outrun or escape the attack, no one was warned, it just happened. I explained it to my relative like this: imagine you lived in a wooden house and the house was on fire. Imagine you had managed to get your children, your family to the lower portion of the house, but there was no way of escaping. After trying every way to get out the house, at some point it dawns on you that there is no way out. That the fire is but 10 minutes from entering the room, and these will be the last moments you have with your family. Do you continue to panic while trying to escape something you cannot escape, or do you accept your fate and enjoy the last few precious moments with your family knowing you will all die? Sorry to explain it so graphically, but this is what I experienced in this dream vision. My relative was tormented by what I explained and seeing the reaction it had in me. Even now, as I type this, it is as if I have just calmed down from the adrenaline but still feel it in me.
What makes it worse? It's a dream vision.
I was shown a glimpse of what is to come, just as I saw the glimpse of Turkey entering Libya, like I saw the Italian parliament dissolve, like I saw wheat and sugar prices rise, like I saw Russia invade. Many of those dreams were one-off dreams, double and triple confirmation of dreams. Not to mention a dream vision within a dream vision and a deceased relative all point, and I hate to even ponder or think about it after seeing it.
This is an event I experienced about the future.
In other words, it will be fulfilled. Honestly, my heart goes out to those innocent people. There was nothing they could do. As wide as the island was, so was this mountain of fire. May God be with those people in that day, on that hour. This is the most horrific dream vision I had, and I specifically did not pray last night for a dream vision. When one considers the timeline dream vision, along with what is playing out right now in the world, recent Russian statements, and taking into consideration the seer's words, I feel terrible about this.
No one could do anything about it. No one could outrun it. I watched those buildings melt away with hundreds of people in them.
Like a candle melting in a house on fire, and still the mountain of fire was not satisfied until it consumed the entire island, all its birds and every shrub. The fact that my relative called my friend to a side and explained everything to him and told him about the first vision on the channel and told him about the others, tells me and points to one event, an event that will be fulfilled. If what I saw is the fulfillment of the seer's words taken from voice of a prophet. Before I paste them here, it is one thing to read these words, it is another to experience them. The panic that came over me when I saw these mountains of fire is a confirmation of this. I tried to figure out where I could hide, and there was no place to hide. Van Rensburg said that England will be totally destroyed, so that only a lean pig will be left lying in the mud here and there. England put other countries to the torch, as was the case here and in Germany, and murdered their women and children, and so the same will be done to her. She will sink further into poverty and horror, and other incendiary bombs will rain down on her, even into bomb shelters, without any means of stopping them.
Remember, ruin must also strike them over the murder of our women and children here. Van Rensburg said when it is all over, he sees a colossal gallery where the thousands of Boers, women and children murdered by the English during the period 1900 to 1902, are sitting.
He also sees his own children who died in the hell camps among them. They, and angels, are weeping tears of joy over our liberation and God's vengeance against the murderers. There is one thing hearing this, it is another to witness the innocent who had nothing to do with this pay this great of a price. While watching this mountain of fire, seeing the buildings melt away, the words came to me, I would not wish this on my worst enemy.
It was the Russian hearts I felt. Their thoughts, they want to wipe and eradicate them from the face of the earth.
It was the viciousness, their hearts cold as ice while dropping things hotter than the sun. They had one intent and purpose when they dropped these pallets, to wipe out every living thing. I saw the West goes to war to stop armies, win victories, but Russia has annihilation on their minds, total extermination. Their intent is very different. It reminds me of the interview Nigel Farage had in America when he was freaking out, saying that the Russians showing or telling the British they would nuke them was totally inappropriate and going too far. This is the problem with war, you can never determine your enemy's outcome or goals and plans for you, which is why one should think twice before provoking your enemy. You just never know what they will use and how they will use it.
Russia has been preparing for a long time.
Their war is a war of extermination and wiping their enemy out, that is what victory means to them. Again, I say this is a second confirmation of a dream vision, within the timeline dream vision, within the words of the timeline, in accordance to events playing out right now. In accordance to Russian statements. Rather pray for them, do not let the past twist you, do not hold other people to judgment. Let the Almighty hear our prayers for them, it is the worst, most upsetting dream vision confirmation I have ever had. Remember that was a war led by Rothschilds and not the people. When I saw the innocent incinerate in the furnace of the mountain of fire, when you see that, you will never wish harm on anyone.
It is truly the most horrific thing I have ever seen or experienced.
The groans, the cries, the inability to flee, everything wiped out, it is too much for me. It was the women and children which truly broke me. After this dream vision I feel broken, my nerves are shot. I need a break from this channel. This dream has very badly impacted me, it even brought my relative to tears and shock. My God be with the Anglo-Saxons in that hour, may his angels protect the innocent, I shall pray for them. Please show humility to them, may God be judge.